When are they moving in?
Tomorrow. What does that mean?
Tomorrow. Moving in?
What the heck is tomorrow? Tomorrow. Well, I was by a liner event over here. Come on.
Come from people that say toilet.
Come on.
Oh, that one?
By the liners, everybody says come.
Oh, we got a chazer.
Chicago.
Ballman says come, and Radinsky says becoming.
No, not so big.
Where's he from?
Okay.
Let's knock this out. 5 minutes later.
You ready? I can't hear. If anybody, can you hear me?
Yes, we're here.
We're good.
We can hear you, but it's Yaakov, if there's background by you.
Yeah, we need quiet back here, please.
My Avalon. That's my Avalon. That's
Okay,
my
guys, I need
purple
quiet
Avalon.
now.
What are you talking about?
Speaking the words.
That's my purple Avalon. Was there a way I could split screen between the basketball game and the daf? I'm like,
Totally forgot. It became his Avalon, then it became his Avalon.
my Avalon, Rabbi Radinsky was talking about. My purple Avalon. That I tried installing a chandelier in.
I don't know why it's not
Tried
here.
installing. I don't want to make it about me.
You should have packed up and said something.
There we go. Okay, ready? To chazer from yesterday. From Friday, Thursday, yeah? What was it? Daf Yud Gimel, right?
Yes.
Yud Gimel.
13b. No, 14b.
Chazar of Yud Gimel Amud Aleph. Yeah, it was just quickly. Yeah, so recent troubles make us forget our previous troubles. I was talking about that even after Mashiach, we're still supposed to mention Mitzrayim. Then we discussed about how Hashem changed Avram's name and Sarah and Yaakov, and if you refer to Avraham as Avram, you're either on a asay or on a lois asay. Yeah, and Sarah and Yaakov, that's not, you are allowed to, because Hashem himself referred to them like that. Well, not by Sarah, but at least by Yaakov. Yeah, then we started, that was the end of the parak. Then second parak started reading the Torah. If you're reading the Torah, as long as you have kavanah, then you can be Yaitse krias if you happen to have been reading the Parsha of Krias. Then we had the whole Mishna of when you can disturb during Berachos Krias, at what points, and then the reason for the order of the parshiyos of Shema, which we're going to get to today also. The Gemara first started off there, is talking about one who was proofreading the Torah, that's what we say pshat.
It's very choppy tonight, no?
What?
Very choppy tonight, the audio.
Is it choppy?
Yeah.
I have it clear.
Need the AirPods.
It's clear for me.
Should I try it with the AirPods?
Yes, AirPods. Ooh, wow, the pros?
Machlokes. If I hate technology, it's horrible. Machlokes if Shema could be said in any language. Is that better?
Welcome, Weissman, to the jungle.
You're not on.
Yeah, I'm here. It's live. What did you think it was?
I don't know, but I'm naked.
So then don't
What
stand
is
here.
going on here? Oh, I don't know. I think I have.
You do like Shnai and Mikra just read the daf, and then you're Yaitse or not?
It's not to be Yoitse. I mean, you could, technically.
Hello?
What do you mean?
Why don't you sit up from now until...
Did we lose Tzvi
Yes.
Did he answer his phone?
Parrots, I don't know what's going on here, but the audio is horrible tonight.
Audio wasn't bad, but we lost you.
We lost Tzvi
Stinks.
I think Siakam is
Still getting feedback from you?
Sleep in your bed.
Okay, it wasn't working.
What else should I learn?
The fork and a knife.
Can you guys hear me? Hello?
Yeah, we hear you.
Donald Trump.
Can you guys hear me?
a little
Yeah.
bit, yeah.
Yes? Hello, should I go by
We
to
hear
this
you,
way?
but we're looking at Naphtali. Oh, there you are.
Did it work out tonight?
Yes, no?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going by to. Yeah, let me know if it's
Let's see you do 90.
okay.
Let's see you do 90 push-ups.
Machlokes if Shema could be said in any language.
Yaakov,
Yes.
they gotta be quiet in the background. If they're talking,
I know, they don't stop talking, which I tell
So
you.
then so go to the other room and give the share in the office.
Yeah, oh, you still sound under the water. But okay.
Is he underwater?
But he's not giving the share. We don't have to listen to him.
All right, that's fine. Good
Why?
point, Aaron Zweig. That's a good point.
You sound better. Why
Okay.
it sounds better?
Machlokes if Shema could be said in any language. And Omen Beis is until what point in Shema is one required to have kavanah? The first pasuk requires kavanah, that's what we paskin. and then that you're supposed to lengthen the word, the dalet in echad. You're supposed to stand in place for parts of Shema that require kavana, which since we paskin, it's just Shema and Baruch Shem, so that's you have to stop walking for that. And then we discussed, Rebbe said krias Shema during Shir, he just said the word Shema. And then we said, when do you have to wake somebody up if he's falling asleep for Shema? So we said just the first pasuk. And then we discussed saying Shema laying down. And then an explanation of Machlokes when what you're allowed to answer during Berachos krias Shema. Then Yudal Amud Aleph is halacha disturbing during Hallel and Megillah, which we said you can, at least on days that you don't say the whole Hallel. Then tasting food on a fast day, which you said you can as long as you spit it out. You're not allowed to greet or do work or travel before davening. And then if you go 7 days without a dream, and learning before sleeping. Yeah, that was the chazara of the previous. So we'll start on the bottom of Yud Daled Amud Aleph. Yeah, we started reading it. On Thursday. But let's just start.
Did you page?
We did. Let's just start. Amar Rav Avo, Amar Rav Yochanan, bottom Yud Daled Amud Aleph. Yes. Amar Rav Avo, Amar Rav Yochanan. Halacha Rav Yudah Amar Bein lechatchila le'emes v'yatziv lo yafsik. Right. So between Ani Hashem lechatchila and emes v'yatziv, you're not mafsik. Like we discussed, that Ani Hashem lechatchila is the end of krias Shema. This that we say emes, that is for this Gemara. This Gemara is telling you why you should say the word emes, which really belongs to the next paragraph, but we want to connect them because of the pasuk. Amar Rav Avo, Rav Yochanan, my time to Rav Yudah Dichsiv. Hashem Elokicham Emes. Since it says in Yirmiyah Hashem Elokicham Emes, so therefore we want to connect them. So Chayz V'Emes Emes or Ein Chayz V'Emes. So let's say you say Hashem Elokicham Emes, then should you go back and say Emes V'Emuna or Emes V'Yatziv? Right? Amar Rav Avo, Amar Rav Yochanan, Chayz V'Emer Emes. Rav Avo says B'Shem Rav Yochanan, you should say Emes twice. Rav Amar Ein Chayz V'Emes. You should not go back and say Emes, which is the way we paskin. There was somebody who was davening in front of Rabbah for the Amud. Shami Rabbah the Amr MS Trey Zimni. They heard that they were saying MS twice. Amar Rabbah called MS Tafse Lahai. This literally means he grabbed onto this, meaning he's stuttering. So that's why he said MS twice. So really, you should not say MS. What's the problem?
My pencil dead.
I have a pen. Yeah. Anyways, there's an interesting din that there's a Talmud Chacham in the community that was in Oval last year, and he happened to have a yahrzeit last week, and when he finished Ma'ariv, he davened from it, so he was davening the slowest. So all he did was say Ani Hashem Elokeichem, and then he didn't say emes to himself. He said Hashem Elokeichem emes. The Chazan repeats it. So we had this discussion. It seems like most places can say that if you're the Chazan and you know you're the latest saying krias Shema, so then you just say Ani Hashem Elokeichem, and then when you say Hashem Elokeichem emes as the repeating, that's when you say emes. You don't say emes twice, right? It's an interesting din, but that's the way the Mishnah says, and others too.
It's only if you're finishing left.
But only if you're finishing left. If you're gonna wait, if you know that you're gonna wait for like a rabbi, so then you should say Hashem Elokeichem emes to yourself and then repeat it. But if you're not, then you just say Ani Hashem Elokeichem, and then when you're repeating, because immediately after, because you know you're the last one davening, so as soon as you finish Ani Hashem Elokeichem, so then he says Hashem Elokeichem emes. Okay, just an interesting din. Yeah. Omar Rabba, call MS. I'm sorry. There's Omar Rabbi Yosef. Kama Ma'al Yehashmaitza. The Chiyoser of Shmuel Bar Yehuda. Omar Ami B'Mar Rabba. Arvis Daber Al Bnei Yisrael and Martalim Ani Hashem Elokeichem emes. Yeah, what they did, they skipped out the whole parsha. The Daber Al Bnei Yisrael Martalim. They didn't discuss anything with tzitzis because it's not at night. And then it says Ani Hashem Elokeichem emes. Marmalei Abayim Ma'im Al Yusa. What is this? What's so good about this? V'Omar Rav Kana, Omar Rav Lo Yaschil. You shouldn't start Vayomer, meaning if you don't have to start the way Rashi says it. You don't have to say Vayomer because it sits as Vim Hischil, and if he did Goimer, but you have to finish the whole thing. So why does this help? They started and they don't finish it. They skip the whole middle. And if you say that the words of Amarta Aleim is not considered starting the parsha of Tzitzis, V'Omer Rav Shmuel Bar Yitzchak, Omer Rav Daber Al Bnei Yisrael Lo Havi Haskola, Amarta Aleim Havi Haskola. So you see that Amarta Aleim is Haskola. So Omer Rav Papa, In Marov, in the West, they held that B'Amarta Aleim is not the beginning of the Parsha of Tzitzis. Only if you say the words Tzitzis, then you have to finish the whole Parsha. Okay? I'm sorry. We started because that's the way to do it in Marava. And since we started it, so then we finish the whole parsha. Meaning we don't do like Marava. We start the parsha, and therefore we have to finish the whole thing. Don't start. And if you did start, then you finish. If you say the words Ani Hashem Elokeichem, then you have to say the word emes. Lo yomar Ani Hashem Elokeichem, and it's emes. If you don't say Ani Hashem Elokeichem, then you don't have to say the word emes, right? Obviously, because that's the pasuk. The pasuk is Hashem Elokeichem emes. If you're not saying the word Elokeim or Elokeichem, then you don't have to say the word emes. So the Gemara says, "V'aboy latkuri yitzias Mitzrayim," but you have to say Mitzrayim. You have to say Mitzrayim, meaning he's saying it's optional that you don't want to say Hashem Elokeichem emes, right? Meaning it's optional to say that whole parsha because tzitzis is not a parsha at night. But what are you going to do about saying Yitzias Mitzrayim at night? You're supposed to say Yitzias Mitzrayim at night, like we've learned. So the Amar Hachi Moedim Anan is a new tefillah here. Moedim Anafnu L'cha Hashem Elokeinu she'etzisanu me'eretz Yisrael v'tisanu v'esavadim v'asisalanu nisim u'gvuros al hayam v'sharnalach. Basically, this is a new tefillah that if you don't want to say Vayomer, you say this, which is mentioning, thanking Hashem for taking us out of Mitzrayim, and then you're good to go. Right? So, okay, but this is not negaya to Lemaisa. This is not negaya to Lemaisa. We don't do this. Right? Taisus actually brings an interesting thing because there is a shita that holds that tzitzis is not lavdafka at night. Meaning, if you have a four-cornered beged sitting in your closet, even if you don't wear it, you would need tzitzis on them, right? So this Gemara sounds like not like that shita, right? Because we're learning that tzitzis. The reason why you don't have to say this whole parsha of Vayomer is because there's no mitzvah tzitzis at night. So that sounds like not like this shita, right? Okay, fine. Amar Rav Yeshua ben Karchel lama kodem Parsha Shema. So we had said in the Mishnah that why did Shema come first? Because first you want to be makabel ol malchus shemayim, and then you want to be makabel ol mitzvos, right? So Shema is ol malchus shemayim, and then Berachos talks about doing the mitzvos. Here the Gemara says a different shot. Tanya Rav Shimon ben Yochai Omer bedinu sheyakim Shema l'vayim shemaya shezel lilmoid v'zel l'lamed, because one is to learn and one is to teach. Vayim shemaya v'la and vayim shemaya comes before Vayomer shezel lilmoid v'zel lasos. Because Vahaya talks about learning, and the Gemara on the side changed it to Lalamid, V'zel Lases, and Vayomer Tzitzis is referring to doing, right? V'asu lahem Tzitzis. So the Gemara says, Atu Shema Lulmoid Ispe Lalamid V'lasos Lesbe. Does Shema, the first parak, have only to learn? It doesn't have to teach and to do. V'aksiv v'shinantam ukshartam uksavtam. Right there it says teach. There's tie the tefillin on and uksavtam. Right. V'su v'hayim shemaya l'lamid hu de'isbei v'lasis lesbi. Does v'hayim shemaya only have to teach and doesn't have to do? V'aksiv ukshartam uksavtam. It says that in v'haya also. Right. So it's a kasher of Shem v'yachai. Elahachi kamar. This is what he means. V'dinu shetaktim shema v'hayim shemaya shezel lilmoid u'lamid v'lasis. Because Shema has all three. It has to learn, to teach, and to do. V'hayim shemaya l'vayomer. V'hayim shemaya comes before v'yomer. Shezeh yesh ba l'lamid v'lasis. It has to teach and to do. Vayomer ain't ba'elo lasos bilvad. And Vayomer only has lasos, right? So that's Shem Vayachai. The Teipa claim of Rav Yeshua ben Karcha. So why do we need the Rav Shem Vayachai's way of learning it? Why don't we just learn it from Yeshua ben Karcha? So Chada v'Aid Kamar, it means one thing and more, meaning one reason and then another reason. Chada k'dei she'ikabel of ol malchus shemayim tchila. The first reason is that you should be makabel ol malchus shemayim. V'achar kach yikabel of ol mitzvos and then ol mitzvos. V'oy mishum de'ispa hani mil yachar naisa. And also because it has these reasons, like Rav Shem Vayachai said, which is in the first parsha, is lilmoid, lilamed, and lasos, and etc. etc. Yeah, fine. Rav Mashi Yodi Vikar Krias Shema V'anach Tefilin B'tzali. So Rav, now the order is important here. Rav washed his hands, read Krias Shema, put on Tefilin, and then he davened. Okay? Ve'hechi, so Gemara asks, Ve'hechi Yavid Achi, how do you do this? Vatani, we learned in the Brisa, Chayfer Kuch. The mace, somebody's digging a hole. For a mace, a kuch is not a regular it's like the way they did in the caves in Eretz Yisrael. They stacked them. So you're digging out. That doesn't really make much difference to this Gemara, but that's what it is. Hachayfer koch lemeis the kever potter me krias Shema min tefillin. So you potter from davening and from tefillin. Umikol mitzvos umrus and all other mitzvos. He is my krias Shema, but once it reaches my krias Shema, oil of a night till yadav and near tefillin. You come out of the cave. You wash your hands and you put on tefillin. V'kayru krias Shema, and then you read krias Shema, ubasmal and daven. So what was the order here? Here was wash your hands, put on tefillin, krias Shema, and then daven. So tefillin came first. Rav, he said Shema first, and then he put on the tefillin. That's going to be the kasha. But first, the Gemara just asks the kasha on this brisa itself, right? Hagupa kasha, Reisham or Potter. First, First, you said that he's Potter because he's burying or he's dealing with the burial, right? And then you say v'sefer chayim. Then you say no, but when it comes to krias Shema, so then you got to get up, right? Kasha. The Gemara says that's not a kasha. Sefer b'trei v'reisha b'chad. The sefer is talking about when there's two people, and the reisha is talking about one. Meaning you have two people, so one continues digging, and the other one gets up and davens, and then they switch. But the reisha, which says you potter, is when you're doing it by yourself. We call makam kasha l'Rav. But however, it's a kasha to Rav again, because Rav, the order was, he washed his hands, krias Shema, and then tefillin. And the Bryce is saying, no, you do the other way around, which is the way we do it, right? You put on tefillin first, and then you read krias Shema. So Rav, Rabbi Shua ben Karchos, really, so the Gemara answers, no, Rav went with Rabbi Shua ben Karchos. The Omar, all malchus shemayim, tchila v'achakach, all mitzvos. First, you have a kabbalah on yourself, all malchus shemayim, right? Meaning that you are a yid, and that you accept Hashem on yourself, and then you do the mitzvah. But the Gemara asks, "Same Rabbi Yeshua ben Karchel lahaktim kriya lasi and mishamas le." Rabbi Yeshua ben Karchel is talking about which pasuk, where you go first. Meaning in our Mishnah, he's saying Shema comes first because the Kabbalah Omach Shemayim and then V'hayim, right? But that was just which perek of Shema you say first. It was not saying that you should do an action before the action of putting on tefillin before, right? A kriya lasi and mishamalei. Did he say that you should do the kriya of Shema before putting on the tefillin? V'su misavalei Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha. Did Rav hold like Rabbi Yeshua ben Karcha? Amar Rabbi Barashi v'zimna sagin havakimna kamei the Rav. Many times we were in front of Rav. Umaktim umashi yodeh. He went and he washed his hands umavarich, and then he made a bracha. Umashilon pirkin, and then he taught us shir. Umanach tefillin, and then he read tefillin v'hadar kari kriya Shema. And right, so what did he do? So he washed his hands. He made the brachas. Then he taught, and then he put in tefillin. So you see that he taught first, right? So you're going to say, well, maybe he did the shir before it became Zman krias Shema. So therefore, that's why he didn't read Shema. Or before nets, but depending, I don't know what he held with that Machlokes, but Maya Sedusi Rav Chia Barashi. So then what would be the testimony of Rav Chia Barashi? It wouldn't mean anything. He's really coming to tell you that that for Mishnayos you don't need to make a bracha. But even so, he's teaching us, meaning his testimony is teaching you that since he was only teaching Mishnayos, you think he doesn't have to make a like we learned, what was it, 2 blot ago, 3 blot ago, I don't know. It mushes all together that there are opinions that hold that you don't make Birchas HaTorah for Mishnayos. So he's saying that even Mishnah needs to tzarech l'Rav. We call makom kasha l'Rav. Whatever it is, it's a kasha on Rav that you see that he did he did it first, right? He read first. Shluchahu davis. So we say no, that there the shliach, the guy bringing him his tefillin, was late. He made a mistake. He was late, so that's why he did Shema first. But really, he held you got to put on the tefillin and then you read Shema, right? That's how we answer, and that's how we paskin that we put on tefillin before we read Shema, which is the next line. Amar Ula, kol hakara kriya Shema below tefillin, kilu made eid l'sheker ba'atzmai. Anybody who reads kriya Shema without tefillin, it's as if he's saying eid l'sheker, right? Why? Because you're saying Shema, and Shema talks about putting on tefillin, and you're reading Shema without tefillin, right? So it's as if you're bringing a carbon oil without the mincha that normally goes along with it, and a carbon without any of the nesachin. Right? So basically, you're doing a half-baked mitzvah if you say Shema. Now, if you're going to miss Zman, this is the way we paskin, that you have to have your tefillin on for krias Shema. That's why, if you don't have a pair of tefillin, you don't daven with the minyan without your tefillin, you miss minyan. More important to have the tefillin on for krias Shema than to daven with the minyan. So if you're missing your tefillin, so you wait for whoever it is to daven, then you put it on, you daven bidieved. If you're going to miss man krias Shema, so as we know, you read Shema without the tefillin. The end of man krias Shema. Yeah, correct.
Would you then repeat it with your tongue?
It would be, yeah, it's better to, yeah.
Better to say Shema, it's just compare with Torah with its going on.
What?
You would repeat it, just you have no necessarily repeat, just
you don't have, yeah. That's what Rabbeinu Tam, right? Paid upon Rabbeinu Tam, so they read krias Shema in the Rabbeinu Tam's tone, yeah. Fine. If you want to do a proper Kabbalah Bifna, you should go to the bathroom, wash your hands, and then put on tefillin, you could krias Shema, and then read krias Shema, and then daven. That's a complete malchus. Because since you went to the bathroom, therefore you're not going to have to disturb. It's not only is a Kabbalah Shema, but as if you build a mizbeach with hikr of carbon. That's not bad. All you got to do is go to the bathroom before you daven. Right, wash your hand. Right, it says wash your hands for cleanliness, and you go surround the mizbeach. Yeah. Okay, so then he's saying, do you not hold that it's as if you were toivel, yeah, because it says erchatz instead of architz. Fine. He saw this young Talmud who came from Marava. He said that if you don't have water, so what do? You want to daven, what do? So you rub your hand on either dirt or on some rocks or on some pieces of wood. He said a good thing. It doesn't say erchatz b'mayim. It says erchatz b'nikoyin, wash with cleanliness. So all these things, rocks, wood, whatever it is, will clean your hands. Yes, and which everybody knows that you don't, when you're learning and you touch your shoes, you touch this, touch that. So you just go and you just rub your hands. Yeah.
Would a tissue work nowadays?
A tissue? No, certainly not the one with lotion on it.
Without lotion.
With lechatchila. Yeah. Did I leave off the middle of a sentence? Call me the demanki. Yeah, I left off the middle of a sentence. Anything that's going to clean. Because Rav Chisda used to curse anybody who went after water while he was davening. But that's only for krias Shema that he cursed him. In the middle of krias Shema, you shouldn't go look for water. But for davening, you have to go find water. Ad kama ad parsa. Until how far do you have to go to look for water before davening? Till the parsa. That's only if it's in the direction that you're traveling. But if you have to go out of your way, afilu mil ain't a chayzer. Even the mill, you don't have to go back. What?
This is anytime you daven, or?
Oh, you were going to get to that in a second. Mil hu dayan chayzer. You don't have to go back a mil. Hapachos and mil chayzer, less than a mil, you have to go back. So basically, the halacha is here, and this is, many people are not makbid on this, but this is why every shul has a sink usually outside the bismerish. The halacha is that you have to wash your hands before all davening, shachus, mincha, and ma'ariv, even if you don't know that your hands are dirty. The Rambam holds you're not yotze your tefillah if you wash your hands. Right? The Mishnah brings it. You are not yotze your davening you have to daven again if you don't wash your hands. Okay, so look here, you have to travel 72 minutes in the direction you're going in order to get water before you daven, which is the same halacha as getting water for washing bread. Same halacha.
You don't have to touch the bread.
What? That's only if you don't have water within the milk. First of all, it's not touching the bread. For those that don't want to touch, that is not. You have to put your hands in gloves or bags. Not shot that you don't touch the bread. That's a big misunderstanding. But even that, if you have water within 72 minutes of where you're traveling, or 18 minutes out of the way, you have to find water for 18 minutes, which I imagine most places that you're traveling to have water within 18 minutes.
Or 9 minutes and 9 minutes.
Is it dry?
Is it 18 minutes?
It's 18 minutes each way.
It's 36 minutes to get back to your
I think so. That's. No, you really only need to wash once each hand.
Do you make a bracha?
What? No, we don't make a bracha. For davening, we don't make a bracha. Yeah? Anyways, but that's halacha. So, if for those that are a little frustrated that they don't get anything out of the daf, well, that's one thing to get out of the daf. Okay? Talk to Mishna, yeah? Hakara Shema v'lo yishmila ozna yotza. We had this before, right? If you read Shema and it didn't reach your ears, you yotza. Yotza lo yotza, you're not yotza. Kara, that's din one in this Mishnah. This Mishnah has quite a few dinim. Right, the first one is you read Shema and you don't hear it, you're Yotze, or Yotze says you're not Yotze. Now, what's going to be very important for this Gemara, and this next Gemara is not easy. It's one of these back and forth, which we're going to do fast, and it's going to take up quite a bit of Gemara. But the point is when Yotze, is this lechatchila or bidieved? Meaning, when the Tanakama says Hakara Shema v'lo yishmila ozna, you're Yotze, meaning you're allowed to even do it in the first place, or if you did it, then you're going to be Yotze. And when Rav Yossi says you're not Yotze, does he mean lechatchila or does he mean even bidieved? Right? It makes a big difference. That's the first thing in the Mishnah. Karav aloydik, the Rav Yossi said, let's say you read Shema and you were not medayik in the words. Rav Yossi am Yotze. Rav Yehuda am lo Yotze. He says you are not Yotze. Hakara l'mafreya lo Yotze. If you read it out of order or backwards, you're not Yotze. Karav atah yachsel l'makom shatah. If you read it and you make a mistake, so you have to go back to the place that you made a mistake. So there's 4 halachas in this Mishnah.
What's considered a mistake?
What? That what's considered a mistake, that you have to ask your local balkars, which is you. So
pronunciation of the word.
A mispronunciation of the word. Well, as we said, kara v'lo diktu b'yasiyaz, a Machlokes, which the Gemara is going to say that we'll make on both, right? If you read it and you weren't medaktik in the words, so then it's a right. Farshin Yosef Bisfasav. Yosef Bisfasav is what Rashi says. Okay, yeah. So Zakti Gemara. My time with the Rav Yossi. What does Rav Yossi say? Mishum Desif Shema. Hashmeya Lazlacha Mashat Hamayt. Since it says the word Shema, you have to hear what you're saying, so it has to reach your ears. The Tanakama says over Shema b'chalosh and Shata Shemeya, and the Tanakama says that's not what Shema is telling you. Shema is telling you with any language that you can hear it. I mean, you can read Shema in any language. Rav Yossi Tarti Shema. Rav Yossi says you can learn out 2 things from Shema. 1, that it has to reach your ears, and 2, that it can be said in any language. Right? So we had that 2 blot ago. Okay. Now here we go. This can be a little technical. I shouldn't really say that because I don't want you to just space out. But that's hold on for the ride. Yes, Tanan. And the Gemara is going to repeat itself, so it's going to be all the way down to the next Amud. Tanan Hasim. So you have a deaf person, right, who could speak, but he can't hear. Okay, so obviously anything that he says is not Hishmiya Lozman, right? It's not going to reach his ears. So he cannot give truma of im taram. If he did do truma, then truma is a truma. Then his truma is a truma. Again, so that Mishnah there is saying that lechatchila he shouldn't be the one to do the truma. If he did, then the truma is considered truma. So now we have to figure out who is that Tana. Is it the Tanakama here, or is it Reb Yossi? Right, and that's going to be dependent on whether they're lechatchila or bidieved. So Mantana Cheresh Amadar Shemen Diavad in lechatchila loy that bidieved it works, but he shouldn't do it. Amar Chista Reb Yossi, it must be Reb Yossi. The Tanan Hakaresh Shema v'lo yishmila as no yotza. Divrei Reb Yehuda, which our Mishnah doesn't have, but it's the first time it says if you read Shema and you don't hear it, you're yotza. Reb Yossi Amar lo yotza. Reb Yossi says you're not yotza. Ad kan lo kam Reb Yossi lo yotza. Elagabi krias Shema deraisa. Until maybe Rabbi Yossi said you're not Yotze, that's because krias Shema is deraisa. But truma is just for a bracha, as we know bracha is derabana. Your truma has nothing to do with your bracha, meaning your truma is a truma whether you make a bracha on it or not. Same thing with any mitzvah that you do. You Yotze the mitzvah even if you don't make the bracha. Yeah, so the Gemara says, Rabbi Yossi, he Dilma Rabbi Yehudi, and then who says that it's Rabbi Yossi? Maybe it's Rabbi Yehuda. But even Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah, which is it doesn't say Rabbi Yehuda in our Mishnah, but the first time in the Mishnah that said you Yotze, maybe he only says if you did, even if you read krias Shema Yotze, not if, but you should not read Shema quietly to yourself, meaning lechatchila you shouldn't do it, but bidieved it works, and then he could be the Tan and the Mishnah about the Cheresh giving the Truma. Teidat the Katani Hakayra dieved in lechatchila. The lashon of Hakayra in the Mishnah is a lashon that sounds like if you read it, not that you can read it. It's if you read it. So Amri Hakayra dieved in lechatchila. So Amri Hadi Katani Hakayra ladicha kagad Rav Yosi. No, the reason why it would say Hakayra is to tell you the strength of Rav Yosi. The Amar dieved nami loy. That it would tell you that even bidieved it's not. Di Rav Yehuda fil lechatchila nami yatsa. And because it was Rabbi Yehuda, he would say even lechatchila you are yotze. So we say that it's not Rabbi Yehuda. So now the Gemara is saying, but Mayo Kimta. So what are you saying? It's Rabbi Yosi. So then it's like Rabbi Yosi. But we have a Baraisa lo yivarach ad berachos hamazon b'liba. You shouldn't say berachos hamazon in your heart. Ve'im veirach yotze. But if you did do it in your mind, then you are yotze. Right? Yeah, that's not a sugi here. But again, you did it. He's saying that if you did Berachos Hamazon in your mind, then you were going to be Yotze B'dieved. Money, like Rabbi Yosef, like Rabbi Yehuda. Can't be Rabbi Yosef, can't be Rabbi Yehuda. The Rabbi Yehuda, Ha'amar lechatchila nami Yotze. Rabbi Yehuda would say you're Yotze lechatchila, right? It's no different than Shema. And Rabbi Yosef, the Evan nami loy. And we're saying that Rabbi Yosef would hold B'dieved and you're not. So then who is it that would hold that you can bench in your mind B'dieved? Elamai Rabbi Yehuda must be Rabbi Yehuda. The Evid in lechatchila loy must be Rabbi Yehuda, and he holds the Evid yes, lechatchila not. So then the problem is Allah had done Rabbi Yehuda braid Rav Shema ben Pazi. Chayre Shema davening Shema Tarim lechatchila. We have an opinion that says that a chayresh that who's deaf, he's allowed to do truma lechatchila. So now we have nobody to hold that. Money loy Rabbi Yehuda, loy Rabbi Yosi. That's not Rabbi Yehuda. That's not Rabbi Yosi. Rabbi Yehuda Amar the Evid in lechatchila loy. If it's Rabbi Yehuda, then bidieved it works. Lechatchila doesn't. Rabbi Yossi Amar bidieved namila. He holds the Evid also not. So now this Tana, who says that a truma you can a chayresh, a deaf person can be mafresh truma, lechatchila is not going to be according to anybody. Elo li'olam Rabbi Yehuda. So now we're back to Rabbi Yehuda. Afil lechatchila nami, and Rabbi Yehuda holds you allowed to lechatchila do it. So therefore, he would say krias Shema lechatchila. You don't have to say it out loud, and berachos hamazon you can say in your mind. And the cheresh would work too. We said we had a stira of a kasha hadidei hadarabbe. One is talking about himself, one is talking about his Rebbe. The time Rabbi Yehuda Aimer b'shumar b'lozman Azariah. Rabbi Yehuda said b'shem his Rebbe b'lozman Azariah. Kara shema tzarach sheyashmiya la'ozna. He needs to let it hear. He needs his ears to hear it. Shenema shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Amar le Rameir Harayu Aimer Asher Anochi Mitzav Chayim Al Levavecha Achar Kavanas Alev Hein Hein Advarim. Right? So you don't, it goes after the kavanah in your heart. Hashta the us is lahachi. Right, so that's it. So now we have the Machlokes. So there's Rabbi Yehuda and there's Rabbi Yehuda b'shem his Rebbe. So that's how we can answer up the differences in these brises. So Hashta the us is lahachi. Now that we have that, afilatem Rabbi Yehuda k'Rabbeis. We can even say Rabbi Yehuda is like his Rebbe. But like Hasha, Rameir Rabbi Yehuda. Now we have two Tanah. We have Rameir who's in the mix too. Rameir holds that you are fine even lechatchila, right? So we can say now Rabbi Yehuda holds. Basically, what the Gemara's maskana right now it's saying is that Rabbi Yehuda holds lechatchila don't do it, but the Evid you yotze. Rameir holds lechatchila you can't do it, and the Evid you can't do it. And Rameir holds you can even do it lechatchila, right? So now that you have three tanoim, so now you can plug it in whichever way you want. The bottom line is it's a three-way machlokes. Whether all these things your ears have to hear it. It's either lechatchila. It's fine. It's either lechatchila no, and bidieved it's fine. And then there's Rabbi Yossi who holds even bidieved it's not fine. Okay, so even if you got lost over there, which I might feel myself I got lost, but even if you didn't, if you got lost, that's the bottom line. That's what you have to come out with those three opinions.
This is why everything you have to hear.
What?
Can I hear shofar? How does it work by shofar?
Well, he's potter.
Potter?
He's potter. Yeah.
If you blow shofar yourself, it doesn't work.
But he would probably work, but I think he's still potter. Right? Okay.
Would it make sense to say that by their raisa it would work with the Evid, but by their abanon it could work in lechatchila?
You can maybe mechalik. The Gemara seems to be mechalik down in the middle there.
No, that was only from nothing to the Evid. That it's lo yatsa, but that was the Rabbi Yossi.
Right.
And said with the Evid, Rabbi Yossi would hold by their abanon. Now in Rabbi Yehuda's sheet, we have to kasha from the
right. So that's going to be really the next Gemara. Let's see the next Gemara because it's going to very good. Yeah. Also, maybe Tosfos entertains that maybe because a Muslim doesn't say the word Shema in it, so maybe that would change. And Truma is only an issue of the bracha, not of the actual Truma. Okay. Zok the Gemara about this Gemara is a repeat of this, just from a different angle. Tanan Hosam. Machlokes Shem Likras as a Megillah. Chutz mi cheres shoyt and cotton. Everybody's kosher to read the Megillah except for cheres shoyt and a cotton. But the cheres is what we've been discussing, right? As a deaf person. Rabbi Yehuda machshir b'cotton. Rabbi Yehuda says a cotton is kosher. Mantana cheres bidieved nami loy. Who is the man to Omar that says even bidieved it doesn't work if a cheres does it? Amar Master Rabbi Yosi. It must be Rabbi Yosi of our Mishnah that bidieved doesn't work. The Tanana cheres shema v'leish milah azna yotza. If you read Shema and it didn't get your ears, so you yotza. The Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Yosi Amar lo yotza. Then Gemara says again the same questions. We might Rabbi Yosi bidieved nami loy. Who says it's Rabbi Yosi and even bidieved doesn't work? Dilma Rabbi Yehuda he lechatchila. Who the loy? How they have it shabbat. Maybe only lechatchila. He said you can't do it, but bidieved it will work. Don't think that. The katani cheres dumi the shayt of a cotton, because we learned that a cheres is similar to shayt and a cotton. Mas shayt of a cotton bidieved namila, just like a shayt and a cotton. If they read the Megillah, that obviously doesn't work. So af cheres bidieved namila. So cheres also wouldn't work. So Gemara says v'dilma hakad isa. Maybe it's each one, meaning we could split it. Well, who says cheres, shayt, and cotton get lumped together as one group? Maybe cheres would work bidieved and shayt and cotton not. Well, mitzvos is looking for Rabbi Yehuda. That's one question. Then the Gemara says, well, mitzvos is looking for Rabbi Yehuda. Can we say it's like Rabbi Yehuda? V'amitiktani say for Rabbi Yehuda machshir b'cotton. Rabbi Yehuda says a cotton is kosher m'chlal the reisha lav Rabbi Yehuda. Then the reisha is not Rabbi Yehuda, because otherwise I would say Rabbi Yehuda Aimer. That means up until now it's not Rabbi Yehuda. So how can you say it's Rabbi Yehuda? So Gemara says v'dilma kula Rabbi Yehuda. No, maybe the whole thing's Rabbi Yehuda. But trei gavni cotton. And there's two types of cotton, b'chesura mechsura, and there's something missing. This is how you have to learn. Hakol ksherim lukus a Megillah chutz micheres shoyt of a cotton. Everybody's kosher to read the Megillah except for these three. B'med one will be cotton shalei gil chinuch. That's all by a cotton who didn't reach chinuch. Our cotton shegil chinuch afilu lechatchila right l'cover the bar mitzvah. Our cotton shegil chinuch afilu lechatchila kosher. But a cotton who's legil chinuch would be kosher. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda machshir b'cotton, because Rabbi Yehuda would be machshir b'cotton. Yeah. So that's what the Gemara is saying. The Tosfos says, interesting, we don't usually see chasuri mechsura like this. The Gemara is not saying this is a chasuri mechsura. The Gemara is entertaining that maybe there's something missing, right? Yeah, I mean, Tosfos says a little differently. You're saying chasuri mechsura in order to establish who the Tana is of the Mishnah. Usually chasuri mechsura is we have a kasha in a Mishnah that doesn't make sense, so we have to add some words. Here, the Gemara is just trying to add words in order that we can figure out who the Tana is of the Mishnah. So let's say you don't figure out who the Tana of the Mishnah is, so then, okay. Right? That's a little different chesure mechser, that's all. Yeah. B'mayu kimta. So what are we saying? Rabbi Yehuda. What?
Song.
Yeah.
Okay.
B'mayu kimta. That's not the ikar. Yeah. B'mayu kimta. The oilam on the internet is very quiet tonight. Yeah. Is a ball game on or something?
Yeah, Lakers, Rockets.
All right.
I just checked the score.
Yeah. We have somebody here watching the game. Anybody needs any updates? All right.
Check the score.
Yeah. Anyway, all right. B'mayu kimta. What are we saying? Like Rabbi Yehuda, right? We're saying it's like Rabbi Yehuda. The evid in lechatchila loy, but the evid it works, and but the evid in lechatchila loy you shouldn't have the cheresh. Elahada Tana Rabbi Yehuda brei Rav Shimon ben Pazi. Cheresh hamadaber bein Shema Torah lechatchila. Right, so he says that we had this on Amud Aleph that the cheresh can give truma lechatchila money lo Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Yosi. It can't be Rabbi Yehuda, it can't be Rabbi Yosi. Rabbi Yehuda the evid in lechatchila loy, because Rabbi Yehuda only allows it bidieved, not lechatchila. And there he's saying Rabbi Yehuda b'shem the braid Rav Shimon Pazi is saying that the cheresh can even do a lechatchila. Right? Rabbi Yosi the evid namila, and if it's Rabbi Yosi even bidieved he can't take off truma. Elamai Rabbi Yehuda. Must be Rabbi Yehuda. Afilu lechatchila nami. So it must be lechatchila. Then the problem is that we're going back around. That a person shouldn't do berachos hamazon in his heart. And if he did, it is yatsa money. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Yosi. That's not Rabbi Yehuda, not Rabbi Yosi. Because he Rabbi Yehuda, Amar afilu lechatchila nami. Because if it's Rabbi Yehuda, then even lechatchila he holds that it's okay. If Rabbi Yosi, Amar afilu di'evid nami loy. Then he says b'di'evid also not. So loy lam Rabbi Yehuda afilu lechatchila nami. It's really Rabbi Yehuda, and he holds the lechatchila is also good. Oh, what are you going to do with these other brises? Just like we said before. One is talking about him, and one is talking about his Rebbe. To Tanya, hold on a second.
Jacob, you lost your video feed.
Yeah, because I'm on 10% now, so we got 10% to go.
Nice.
That's
yeah, but we should get there.
That's why you're not reading.
No, I'm not.
Wow,
really,
the pressure.
Yeah, this whole thing is either you get it or you don't get it. You know what I mean? And this is a repeat. You missed the first. The first go. For you because you weren't in for the first part. It's a complete repeat.
Sounds like an Ela.
One is talking about him and one is talking about Rabbi. The Tanya, Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Mishum Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, Akara Shema Tzarech Yashmiya LaOznei. If you read Shema, you need to let it go to your ears. Shenema Shema Yisrael. Amar Le Rameh, Harei Oimar Asher Aneichim Tzavach Yam Alu Levecha, Acher Kavanas Alev Hein Hein Advarim. It goes after your heart, not after hearing. Hashtag Asas Lahachi Afilu Teim Rabbi Yehuda Kara Beisri. Now that we're saying it this way, that we have a third Tana in the mix, and then we could say Rabbi Yehuda holds like his Rabbi. But like Kasha, Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Meir. One Bryce is Rabbi Yehuda, and one's Rabbi Meir. Yeah. So basically, again, the bottom line to come out from all this is that there are three opinions of Tanoim. One says all these things are cheresh, lechatchila is fine. Then the middle shita is lechatchila not fine. Bidieved, if he did do it, it's fine. And then you have Rabbi Yossi who holds even bidieved. A cheresh reads the Megillah, does truma, birchas hamazon if you say it to yourself, and Shema if you can't hear it, it's all no good. So now how do we paskin? Amar Rav Chisda, Amar Rav Shila, halachik Rabbi Yehuda, Shamar Shem Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, halachik Rabbi Yehuda. You think it would be so easy, right? He says the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda b'shem is Rabbi, and like Rabbi Yehuda. What does that mean? V'tzricha. You need to say both. Iyash min halachik Rabbi Yehuda. If you just said halacha like Rabbi Yehuda, hava min afilu lechatchila. You would have thought that even lechatchila it's okay. Kamash v'lan halachik Rabbi Yehuda, Shamar Shem Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. So we're saying that the halacha is like Rabbi Yehuda b'shem Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah. That shouldn't be lechatchila. You would think that he has to read it again, and he has no takana. Then Allah is like Rabbi Yehuda, that bidieved it would work. So the bottom line is we're passing lechatchila. Don't do it in bidieved. You can't. Yeah. Okay. Now that's the end of the complicated part. Now the rest of the daf is pretty easy. Amar Rav Yosef Machlokes krias. This is all disagreement by krias. But by other mitzvos, everybody holds you're not yotza. You should pay attention and listen, and Klal Yisrael should listen. So Gemara asks, but we just got finished saying that you shouldn't say Berachos Hamazon in your heart, and if you did, you are yotza. So that's Berachos Hamazon is shar mitzvos, and clearly you see that you are yotza. Let's change it the opposite. Amar Rav Yosef, Machlokes b'kriyas Shema d'ksiv Shema Yisrael. By kriyas Shema it says the word Shema Yisrael, so therefore you have to have it reach your ears. Avol b'shar mitzvos divrei kol yotza. All other mitzvahs it says yotza. V'ksiv haskes to Shema Yisrael. It says that you have to hear. Ahu b'divrei Torah ksiv. That's referring to divrei Torah. So divrei Torah you have to say out loud. Yeah. We're not going to do the halacha l'maisa on that now because I think it's more of a sugya later. Kara, yeah, right. The Kara v'leitikli say. Let's say you read it and you weren't medactic to read it perfectly. Amar Rav Tavi, Amar Rav Yoshia, halacha k'divrei shneim l'hakol. The halacha is like both of them to be makel. That you would be yotza on that. And what was the second case? The third case, I'm sorry, in the Mishnah was if you read a lemafreya, it was also machlokes. So lemaisa, we're saying that the halacha is like both of them l'hakol. Yeah, tomorrow Be'ez Hashem. When we have a little bit more time, it's not such a long daf, we'll get into this a little bit in the halacha. Amar Rav Tavi, Amar Rav Yosha, Ma'it Chsiv, Shalosh Heina Loisis Be'ena, Sha'al V'Aitzer Rechem. Somebody want to say something? No? Okay. Shalosh Heina Loisis Be'ena. There are three things that are not satisfied. Sha'al, the depths, right? V'Aitzer Rechem, and the Aitzer Rechem. B'Chima'ini and Sha'al Eitzel Rechem. What does Sha'ol, the depths, have to do with the womb? What it means to tell is ma rechem machnis u'moitzi, just like a rechem. It goes in and it goes out. Af Sha'ol machnis u'moitzi. So too the ground, Sha'ol meaning the burial, right? Something it goes in and it's going to be tchias hamesim. It goes in quiet, meaning the conception is quiet. But the baby comes out screaming, but when there's a burial and everybody's crying, and it goes in koilis. And of course, it's going to call v'chaymer that it's going to come out with koilis. Mekan This is a tshuva. This pasuk is a tshuva to those that say there's no tchias hamesim from the Torah. There is tchias hamesim from the Torah from this pasuk. This is a proof. What? This is in Sanhedrin, correct? Very good. This is this is also, by the way, why is Mishnah supposed to be done for an oval does mishnayos. Why is that a thing? Because it says in the Shema, right? But what's a pshat? The pshat is because mishnayos is the first Torah Shabbat Peh. If you hold of Torah Shabbat Peh, then you hold of Tchias HaMesim. Right? It's Lahaiti Milivan Shad Stukim. The Stukim who didn't hold the Torah Shabbat Peh also didn't hold the Tchias HaMesim. So by you learning Mishnayos, Le'ilei Nishmas, that's showing that you believe in Torah Shabbat Peh and you believe in Tchias HaMesim, and that's the way Tosfos Yontif says is the reason why you learn Mishnayos. Le'ilei Nishmas. Yeah. Tani Rabbi Shia Kamei the Rabba. Uchsavtum. It says in the Parsha, Uchsavni, you write it. Hakol b'ksav afilu tzavos. You put everything in the ksav, when you're writing the mezuzah, you write the whole Parsha, not just the words Uchsavtum mezuzah spesecha v'shareh. Amar leit Amar lachmani, who told you this? Rabbi Yehuda. It's Rabbi Yehuda. Amar gabi sotah, always kaisav tzavos, ene kaisav. By the sotah, right? So what do? They make that mix with the sotah to drink. So they scrape off, they write the Parsha, they write Hashem's name, they write the whole thing, the Parsha on sotah, on the parchment, and they scrape it off and put it into the drink. So do you have to write the whole parsha or not? So Rabbi Yehuda says, by sotah you write the curses of what are going to happen, but the tzavos ain't a kaisav. There it says you write these olis. It just says uchsavtam. It doesn't say chasav as olis eila, so it's even the tzavos. So the Gemara says, "Atu time the Rabbi Yehuda mishum d'chsev v'chasav." Is the reason why Rabbi Yehuda said his din is because it says v'chasav tamei the Rabbi Yehuda mishum d'chsev olis. It says there, write olis in, tzavos loy, not because it says v'chasav. So it's strict, no, you need it. Learn out the word ksiva from the mahasam, olis in, tzavos loy. So you would think there that the curse is in, tzavos loy, af hacha nami tzavos loy. Just like by sotah, you don't write the commandment part of the mitzvah that you should write. You should write Hashem's name and scrape it off. You just write the olis. So maybe by mezuza also, you should just write what it is. You don't have to write how you go about doing it. So, because when I want to that we read that you write in the mezuzah even what you're supposed to do. One more short Gemara. Tana Rabbi Vadi Kamei the Rabbi V'Lamadtem She'ilmutcha Tam She'itin Revach Bein Adveikim, that you, when you're saying Shema, that you should put a space in between the words that are close together. And the Gemara brings examples now. Ani Rabbi Basrei, Rabbi answered after him and says, Kigoin al livavecha, right? So the lamids are connecting. So if you say it too fast, it sounds like al livavecha, one word. It should be al livavecha. Most of them have like a line there. Then al livavchem is another example. B'chol livavcha, b'chol livavchem, esev b'sodecha, v'avadtem mehera, hakonof psil, eschem me'eretz, right? Those are all the examples in Shema. So since Shema, you're supposed to really be medactic, so that's why you should make sure you have a space in between all those things. It's an interesting Gemara, right? If you read Shema and you're medactic to read it properly, then they're going to cool off Gehenim. Al tikreit beferish, ela beferish, right? That you should say properly. Al tikri b'tzalman, ela b'tzalmavis, which is Gehenim, which is interesting because it's not saying you're not going to Gehenim.
Right.
It doesn't say that. It says you read Shema, right? By Ashrei, you're not right. No, 3 times a day, no Gehenim. But here it's saying no, you're going to go to Gehenim. It's just going to be, it's not going to be a little cool. It's going to be cooler. Right? From 120 to 150. Yeah, so anyway, that's one of the ways to sort of be medactic in krias Shema. Tomorrow, B'li Neder, we'll try and discuss a little bit more the practical halachas of being medayik. All right, I hope that was understandable. A good vach to everybody.
How was the sushi?
Tully, do you remember this line from Rabbi Granovsky? At 300 you bake, at 350 you burn.